Hey, Facebook world. I haven't seen you forever. And okay, so it's been kind of a whirlwind the last few weeks, and I'm going to get into it more Thursday when I go live with my friend Jill. And we're going to just talk about like the raw and the real stuff of like what we have to deal with as parents, and not deal with, but just the situations that we encounter that we're not always prepared for, and how we handle that, how we cope, how we get through it. So I will be posting like when that live is. It'll be Thursday, I think. But sorry, I swallowed. I think just whatever. So hello everybody catching on. So I wanted to come to you after I had chilled out a little bit, settled down, kind of regrouped. A lot of people were like, Brooke, you posted those on Facebook, but like, what's wrong? And you got to understand, this was truly hard for me. And I'll give you kind of a glimpse into what has been going on. So Rain and I both have genetic disorder called tuberous sclerosis complex, okay? And we both were, I was diagnosed at 18, told I'd be in a wheelchair by the age of 30, that my body would regress, that I wouldn't be able to have children, they'd be vegetable, like all of this stuff. So my life was like doom and gloom, and it was pretty terrible because I just didn't see like an end in sight. I got very depressed, but I also found I was pregnant, and they put me on Prozac and a different couple other medications. So what happened was I had her during my pregnancy. She was great at birth, and at 4 months she stopped breathing. And then we came into all the complications with the rhabdomyomas, which are heart tumors, kidney tumors, brain tumors. And then she would have about 10 to 15 seizures a day. And I would have to give her certain medication to stop her from seizing. And since then, we've been with Help Me Grow, IEPs. I mean, we were having people in our home at 9 months just checking on her progress, what we're doing right, what we're not doing right, how we can help her, why can't she talk, hey everybody. And so long as we go on, she had to have her right frontal lobe removed. We were told like it was better than having all those seizures, and if it had worked, that'd be great. However, she has been seizure free since 2009, and she is on 1,200 milligrams of seizure medication. So we have never lowered that because we were afraid that they would pop through, because we did try to at one point in 2009. Her surgery was in 2007, and it came back. So we decided, let's keep her on the medication. It's better safe than sorry. And she's been on that ever since. Kind of what we were told is that she would regress and then not be able to make executive decisions, have some impulsivity, some issues. And also with TSC, you deal with like ADHD, defiant disorders, spectrums of autism. I mean, we're kind of a linchpin disease. So it's good and it's not good. Good thing is we can help a lot of other people with different diseases, as far as like multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, different types of cancer, because what they use for us to regress the progression of the disease, they can also help other people with like prolonged diseases, as far as like diabetes and just all that kinds of stuff. So it's great for us because we can get all this knowledge and just all this stuff going on with our therapies. I've been an advocate for 7 or 8 years for the TSC Alliance, and so I go to last year this time I was in St. Louis for the Lamb Foundation. That's when you have lung tumors, and I know my hair's getting so long, thanks Allison. Anyways, a hat's been my best friend the last couple weeks. People were like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you. I'm like, yeah, this is what you're getting today. You're getting a hat. But anyways, so long story short, my daughter's had a lot of mental illness, from just the brain surgery, the right frontal lobe being removed, the seizures, the TSC. You can't really see what's wrong with her. It's not real physical. There's a couple of like we have, like this is an angiomyoliopoma, just like bumps on your face that you'll get. They can either be severe, mild, or like really you can't really see them. However you get them, there's just different things we're coming out with to help everybody have a better quality of life. However, yes, you can also have schizophrenia. So we do have some in my family. We have personality disorders, schizophrenia, bipolar, a handful of things. It kind of comes down the line from each side, just a different mental illness. So then you have that on top of it, and bipolar. And I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to get into it. I'm just going to tell you about my experience personally. Rain wasn't aggressive or, when puberty hit is when it really hit for her. So the thing is I lived with TSC my whole life and never really knew. So a lot of the times when you're labeled, like, you know, something's wrong, it becomes you, and you focus on that. And I mean, I was never told till I was 18. So then after 18, when I was told, like, I was sick and I had agoraphobia, I wouldn't leave my house, I wasn't present with my children. You guys, like, there were days where my mom, I love her, but she would be like, I don't know how you just don't get ready. Don't you just get ready for the day? And I'm like, no, like, it takes all I can to get dressed. You know, those were my days. Those were my days of like, what am I even doing here? I think I've told you guys before, there was a time in my life that I didn't think I could handle this. I didn't think I could do this. I didn't think that I could take care of the child that I, you know, was given, because I didn't know if I was qualified. I didn't know if I was enough. And as we moved on for the years, I decided, instead of like forcing myself against it and against finding a cure and forcing myself against like understanding that if you can't beat them, join them, right? So there's no way that I'm going to figure out how to find a cure alone. There's no way that I'm going to know her quality of life. A lot of people didn't know how adults were with TSC. So I made myself, you know, a part of the adult community, and very wonderful. So I have like 5 states, and I get to give resources to other adults that get diagnosed. Like, here's who you should reach out to, ask your doctor this. I'm just a resource for people that are kind of lost, or just getting diagnosed, not sure where to turn, not sure what to do. And in doing that, I've learned so much about the children, because like I said, I didn't have these issues when I grew up. I didn't go through this. The things I went through, like, I questioned, like, why do I have a hard time like reading, or why can I comprehend this? I had a 3.5, like, it wasn't a 4.0. However, I didn't suffer in school. So when you have a child that's on an IEP, and then you have a child that's gifted, your life is totally different from everything you can even imagine. So what happened to Rain is pretty much she had a mental breakdown. Her body changed a lot, and the meds aren't always, you know, she's been on 13 different kind of medications. Just in the past, I think 4 years since her puberty hit and all that stuff. And so we've been like chasing something that you can't ever help. You might have like a good day, but like, you guys, when I'm saying that I take one day at a time, sometimes it's 1 hour, and I'm not joking. Like, I don't let you into those parts of my world, because I don't want you to see Rain as that person, because Rain is a beautiful human being and she loves so hard. But I'm telling you, these days are tough, getting tougher for her with this puberty and all these med changes, and the brain just not wanting to function with what's not there. And it's just all disconnected, and it's so difficult. So for high school, we decided to switch her to an adaptive learning school, and it's been wonderful for her. They meet her where she's at. She has her own personal aide. She required some other learning help. So, you know, like, she doesn't realize it, but, you know, I used to care about, like, I just want her to stay at her level. I don't want people to notice. I want her to live her best life. I want her to get asked to a cookout, you know, those kinds of things. But as I progress, I just want her quality of life to be amazing. And I had to go through something really tough last week. My whole family did. And, you know, we felt like it wasn't the best idea for her to be home for a couple of days. She definitely needed readjusted, and her meds needed messed with again. And we weren't really sure, like, what was happening. But you guys, I can tell you that's by far the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life, was to let her go get help, get stabilized, figure out what was happening. And, you know, I'm going to talk more about this Thursday, but they put her on a medication they didn't even talk to Cincinnati about, the doctors we've seen since she's 3, and it would have made her manic in less than a week. So just so you know, we're constantly trying to fight a chemical imbalance that's not easy to fight. It's hard to stay ahead of. You have to be mentally prepared for what you're going through. I have to be present at all times. So when I talk about Thrive, or when I post about that kind of stuff, like, you guys have no idea where. You have no clue how hard it was for me to wake up some days. You have no idea what the struggle we went through, watching her lay in that bed for the brain surgery for 3 weeks and go through that process for 6 months. And you just go through this trauma that you kind of block out. And she keeps calling me, but I just wanted to tell you guys that I survived the worst of my life. And so far, I'm not saying it's going to be the worst ever, but if I can do this, so can you. But I have to tell you this, that if it wasn't for Thrive and it wasn't for God and it wasn't for my family, I wouldn't have made it out of bed half that time, because I didn't know how to function without my child. I didn't know what was happening. I wasn't communicated with. There was a lot of things going on that I was like, I was helpless, you guys. Like, I can't fix that. That's something that I can't change. But I want you to know that this has been really tough on a lot of people. I have a family to take care of. I have my niece to take care of, and I have to think about the health and the wellness of everybody. But I also can't pour from an empty cup. So I woke up every day. I still did my 3 steps, and today being my 2-year anniversary of Thrive, I just wanted to tell you this is why I keep going, because I have to keep fighting, and I have to keep fighting for my life and everyone around me. And being back behind the chair has made it so much easier, and I thank you to everyone that reached out, sent a card, opened up your love, your arms, your everything to me, because I needed that more than you know, because you guys picked me up some days where I didn't even feel like I could roll out of bed. And I just want to thank you, and I know I haven't told you guys a lot of what's going on, but I just want you to know that you are loved and you are enough, and I really appreciate all that you guys did for Rain and I and my family and reaching out. And I just want you to know, like, educate yourself on mental illness, because it's serious. It can hurt. It hurts everyone, not just the person that it's affecting. And sometimes it's a lifelong thing, and at any point anyone can be affected. So take care of yourselves. Don't pour from an empty cup, and I love you all, and have a good night.
Bathing is the product that kind of came together. I crossed paths with this awesome dude, Mike Robinson, cannabis expert, cured his cancer, helped his stepdaughter with autism, get off her meds and have a quality of life. Just really intelligent guy that, has been through some shit. And again, fighting an uphill battle to get respect for his knowledge, his lived experience, and his formulation knowledge is incredible. So we ended up crossing paths, talking, and, I'm sure he's had these products in formulation for years. So I'm not taking any credit for it. All I'm saying is I heard him. I'm like, whoa, whatever this guy puts out is going to be awesome. And it is. So we are sending out samples of this stuff all over the place. People are raving. Some people, don't get much of an effect. I don't know why. I can't promise you it's not meant to treat or cure, but I will tell you that we've gotten calls from people that have had migraines that have gone away, in the moment, quickly, rapidly. The technology is nano. I'm not supposed to talk about that, but I think Mike will let it pass this time. And CBG, CBD, terpenes. It's not like he just threw them all in a can and shook them up. This is time, energy, and passion to help people. I'm putting it on my son's face with his angiofibromas, and I'm seeing a difference. So, it doesn't treat or cure, but it's there. So that's my commercial for forest bathing. I'm also going to talk about Facebook. Brooke and I, Brooke Alisha, another TSC mom, is living with TSC herself, and has a daughter that's been through some really tough stuff recently within the mental health system, which happens with our kids because there's really no adequate, collaborative, cohesive support network when they fall through the system with mental health program problems that are, in part due to the physiology of TSC. And it gets really complicated because in the mental health system, there's, a need to label for a lot of reasons, label with a diagnosis and use a lot of medication. And I truly think this helps in the moment sometimes, but I think there's a lot better ways overall. And for some, maybe not, maybe that's all there is. But, for my loved ones affected, I'm not going to accept that for an answer. I've used these medications myself, and they've taken a serious toll on my health. I think for short periods they can be useful. I'm not banging the whole thing, just trying to disrespect it, but just being realistic. I don't think they were meant to be lifelong treatment modalities, along with 7 or 8 other pills. And, I'm seeing some really serious things happen in my kids' lives that is extremely distressing. And I know in a good part it is due to the polypharmacy. So Brooke and I are going to rap about this. We're going to talk about what happened and, what TAND is, and which is TSC, Associated Neuropsychiatric Behaviors. It's something that a lot of individuals that have the condition have, correlating mental health issues, and really can be very challenging for children that are nonverbal, for anybody, and the ripple effect on those caregivers. And, I'm not here to say you people that have TSC have ruined our lives, because I can't say that in any way. My heart goes out to every single person that's affected. I think it's set up to challenge every single system in our society that's there. Challenge the holes, because you're going to find them in a lot of cases. Some not, there's mildly affected people, and they, don't need to go deep into all this. And that's God bless them. And anyways, to wrap this up, because I'm rambling, Brooke and I are going to wrap, and we're going to talk about what we went through with our kids, and, psych placements, which are extremely traumatic for everyone involved. And really, while they're necessary right now until we have a better place, they're just a lot of people making judgments on minimal information. And with a condition like TSC, you really need the full history, setting. Yeah, sorry for that. And yeah, so I appreciate her willingness to do that. And I want you to check out our Indiegogo. And let me tell you, it's the Forest Bathing. It's a topical. It's a spray roll-on, and we'll send you a sample if you want. You can go to our Indiegogo and order a bottle now, $39.99, and we'll get you these are R&D samples that we're sending out. So the final product is amazing, and so is the R&D sample, which is already the one I'm talking about with the reviews. So if you have received a bottle and you've had good results, please tell me. Please send Lisa or I an email, or send us a message on Facebook. Give us some feedback. We're really looking for, feedback. And yeah. Anyways, and share it around if you